This is Daily Blast Live. We're talking about what you're talking about.
Get real.
No. Y'all,
This
just
is
stop.
a sham.
It's finally here. Drum roll.
Welcome to DBL. Happy Friday, lovely peeps.
Yeah, hey.
No, it's Thursday.
Happy Thursday, lovely peeps.
I was like, I think it's
I was so out of it.
You know what?
Like,
I
it is
almost,
Friday.
maybe in my head was Friday Junior. I knew it was Thursday.
Did
Friday
you?
just came out. Yeah, I did.
But you were so convincing. I
Yeah,
was like, yes, it's Friday.
I would have said like, welcome to DBL. Happy Friday, because it's like Friday, Thursday.
But you were like, Happy Friday.
Did I sell it?
No, because you.
Erica looked at me and she was sold.
I did say, but I was like, wait a minute.
At this point, it doesn't even matter. All right, let's get into it. There's been a big break in the investigation of the late Friends actor Matthew Perry. As you know, he drowned in his hot tub last October, and he had high levels of ketamine in his system, which likely caused him to become unconscious. His death was ruled an accident at the time, but now TMZ is reporting police went through Matthew's text messages to uncover where he got the drugs and how much he paid for it. The New York Times is saying 5 people now, including 2 doctors and Matthew's personal assistant, were charged with conspiracy to distribute ketamine. This has taken a turn here. I mean, we could take it in so many different levels, the pharmaceutical industry, addiction, but like if you're his assistant and he's like, go get me those drugs, do you quit? Do you help him out? Do you get fired? He's finding those drugs somehow. Take it wherever you guys want.
I mean, that was where I was. My first thought, Jeff, is when we learned about the personal assistant. We're obviously, it goes without saying, but I want to say it anyway. We are heartbroken that this man and his family lost this person that gave so much to so many people. It's amazing. But at the same time, he was a powerful person.
Yeah.
To have an assistant, somebody on your payroll, when you tell them to do something, their question is, how much do you need and how quickly do you need it? Otherwise, you're gone.
Right.
And I wish that that assistant or anybody in that position was in a financial position to say, you know what, I'm not going to do that. I care about you too much. But let's be honest, people need those jobs. And maybe even had affection for this man, like he will get sick unless he gets this. He'll wean himself off later. So it's a rough one for me, Tori, because it's so cut and dry, but something like this never is.
I understand that, but I also know that job comes with consequences, and especially if it's in writing, where it's like, you go get me ketamine, and he's like, okay. I mean, they're looking at text messages. There's also precedent for this. So Conrad Murray in 2011, we know about Michael Jackson with propofol, a dealer sentenced to 17.5 years in connection with Mac Miller's overdose in 2018, and finally, Michael K. Williams with fentanyl-laced heroin causing his death in 2023. So I don't know, these doctors take an oath. They are promised to only do good. If they know this person has an addiction and they're prescribing him more than he needs, they're culpable. They're culpable. There's consequences to that.
Well, Erica, according to her, how many assistants in the history of Hollywood would be locked underneath a jail if procuring drugs to your boss
Or
is
women
illegal?
or anything else.
Or women, yes.
Yeah.
How many personal assistants?
But how many people died at that hand?
Well, I mean, I wouldn't say that there is this enormous influx of personal assistants who are being locked up, but I do think that in law, in general, a precedence is set by the first, you know, and I think what the hope is in situations like this is that it's a deterrent to other people not to follow the same path. I was very open about the fact that when Jerry Springer was here, may he rest, but when he was here, I told him that he actually kind of saved me from being in a situation not like this, but I was receiving packages.
You got to tell that story. It's one of the best stories I've ever heard.
So I was in Chicago. I was an intern at the time at a radio station, and there was a person there that would have me go and retrieve his packages. And Jerry Springer lived in that same building, and he would come in, and I would be outside without a coat on. That's kind of how we started talking. And he was like, "What are you doing?" I said, "I'm getting this package." And then after about the 3rd time, he's like, "Have you ever looked in this package?" And I was like, no, I mean, I'm like 19, 20 or something like that. And he goes, look in the package and tell whoever's sending you down to get the package that they need to get their own package. And when I went back and said, well, Jerry Springer said you have to get your own package, I was never sent down to get that package again. So I can understand how people end up in situations where whether they know it or not, they are somehow a party to something that may not be legal.
Yeah, you're aiding and abetting. That's against the law. And unfortunately, people will do it for money. But again, you're taking that chance.
But then we'll never take down the big guy, because the thing with any huge drug dealer is they never have anything in their car. They never have anything on them. You don't find Pablo Escobar with his pocket stuffed with any, like there's other guys.
Cocaine.
Yes, yeah, I didn't want to, you know, but there's other people that handle that. The reason they have RICO and things like that is because they had to find a way to connect all those people to the guy at the top or the woman. Shout out to Griselda.
Yeah. We're not solving the problem, but I mean, ethics and there's so much to talk about, and it's a deeper problem than we're even scratching the surface with. All right, so actor Rob Schneider apologized to his daughter, singer Elle King. So earlier this week, we talked about their toxic relationship after Elle went on a podcast and talked about how her dad sent her to fat camp. I can't even say the word fat anymore. I feel like I'm doing something wrong. And forgot her birthdays. She said they think differently politically, and she didn't want to be associated with him, especially when she started her music career. Rob had this to say to Elle while speaking with Tucker Carlson. Take a look.
I wish I was the father in my 20s that you needed. And clearly I wasn't. And I hope you can forgive me for my shortcomings. I feel terrible, and I just want you to know that I don't take anything you say personally.
So when your daughter attacks you in public, how hard is it not to, you didn't make any excuses or blame her or attack back? How hard is that?
I love her, and all I want for her is to be happy and to heal from this.
I love Tucker being like, why don't you fight back?
Yeah. Does he have children?
No. He was. I kind of took it differently because we talked about that in the morning meeting. I thought he was saying, how hard is it for you as a public person not to strike back? Because whatever he says is going to hit the tabloids right away. So I thought that was a fair question.
But it's still his daughter. Like, why would you hit
But
back?
I mean, I think a lot of people
No, he's
would
saying
say,
how hard is it not to defend yourself? I think you see it differently because it's Tucker Carlson. That's all.
No, I think because there's precedence for this. Like, I could think of Brian McKnight has had a very public battle with his son, who is his namesake. Coy Leroy's father, Benzino. They have had, she's talked about her childhood and him as a father. He has responded to it. So I think that there are parents out there who have been like, hey, you say something about me, blood or not, you're going to get this smoke. And then there are parents who are like, I am the parent.
Right, I'm the adult.
And if this is something that I need to be like at least honest with myself about or listen to you for the first time, then I'm going to do that, and I'm not going to retaliate because you're sharing your experiences, even if it doesn't necessarily reflect well on my parenting.
That's what a parent does.
Right.
I'm not a parent.
But that's what I'm saying. Like if my son, we were older and things like that, even if there was something that the public didn't know about, I wouldn't out him in public. I'd say, I failed as a father.
But what if he said something about you?
I still would cover for him.
Right, because that's
what
the
he's
type of
doing.
parent you are.
Of course, you're a
Right.
good
So
parent.
the meeting threw me way off because I didn't see that.
Tucker
clip
was saying
before.
like, you don't want to fight back against your daughter.
He didn't say that.
I don't want to even get into Tucker Carlson. Like, who cares about him? I think, Tori, that it was like a beautiful thing to just see a guy say,
right.
What we always ask from people, to just say, I messed that up, and I'm really disappointed in myself. And even when presented with an opportunity to take one more shot at his daughter, he's like, no, that's on me, dog. I mean, it's the ultimate failure as a parent. It's my worst nightmare. It would be the thing that kept me up at night. But the fact that he was able to articulate that, I give him all the props. He didn't even try and couch it in anything.
I hope it, sorry.
All right, good combo. We'll be right back. Welcome back and welcome to America.
Yeah.
The feud between wrestlers Hulk Hogan and Jesse Ventura has been rumbling since the 80s, and now it's entering the political arena. Of course. Well, the Hulk is wrestling up support for Trump while Jesse the Body is throwing down for Harris. I feel like I'm on a
USA.
just a weird episode of something. And a new study says that celebs like Trevor Noah, Billie Eilish, and Kerry Washington could actually impact the upcoming election by helping rally the base, attract new audiences, and increase fundraising. Remember when T Swift, Tory's girl, rocked the voter turnout in 2018? She rallied 250,000 Swifties to vote in just 72 hours. That's what experts say. That's why experts are saying candidates are seeking celebrity endorsements.
Didn't that candidate still lose? The one she endorsed?
Yes.
Okay.
Marsha Blackburn, she also dealt with that. I think Taylor Swift will have an impact on this election. I think other celebrities might, but the biggest one will be probably Beyonce, who already has given her endorsement and helped with the song that is with Miss Harris. But she might make an appearance, we're hearing, at some kind of fundraiser, which would be amazing. But Taylor Swift, I'm just going to say, has the hand on a tweet that could allow 18+ Gen Zers 1 million+ voters in one tweet, which is what they call the Oprah effect, because she was able to do so. If you're talking about childless cat ladies, there isn't anyone bigger than the famous childless cat lover, Taylor Swift. Will she be at the convention? I don't know, but she will make an appearance, in my opinion. She's talked about female rights, abortion rights. She's talked about how important that is. She'll put her hand in this ring, I think, her hat in this ring.
What do you think, Erica?
Yeah, I think that celebrities do make an impact in terms of people who really ride with them. And you know, I know that this is a very controversial subject in terms of, like, should celebrities be endorsing or talking about their political affiliations? And I think it depends on the celebrity and it depends on the demographic. Some people are influenced by the idea that this is someone that they are somehow connected with and aligned with in terms of their ideology.
Yeah. Good thing we're out of time. Coming up on DBL, a former flight attendant who's now a best-selling author is telling us all about her new book involving a horrible plane crash.
Welcome back. From flight attendant to best-selling author, TJ Newman's career has taken flight, and her newest thriller, Worst Case Scenario, is out now. Earlier, we flagged her down to talk all about it. Check it out.
Please welcome author TJ Newman.
Yes.
Hi, thank you for having me on.
Hey, thank you for joining us. All right, let's jump right in because you did a lot of writing while working as a flight attendant. What specifically would you write about while working on a plane with that book over your shoulder? I'm kind of guessing right now. Worst case scenario? That's not what I want in my flight attendant.
It's true. My first book was called Falling, and I wrote that one by hand in the forward galley on red-eye flights while my passengers would sleep. And you asked me if I write about my passengers, and in a way I do, because not specific passengers, but my books are about ordinary people being thrust into extraordinary circumstances and how they rise to meet that moment. Because I would fly and I would look out at the passengers and think, what if something goes wrong? What's going to happen? Who's going to be the hero? Who's going to be the coward? Who's going to be the comic relief? And they inspired me to think of these worst case scenarios, these action thrillers, which are the stories that I write, but put everyday people like you and me in them.
Would you be willing to punch me in the face if something happened? Because I just want to be knocked out.
Tori will do that. I'll do it.
All right.
I'll knock you out.
I love that you were literally writing the pages of your next chapter during your current chapter as a flight attendant. That is so inspirational. Well, your newest novel is called Worst Case Scenario, and it's about a plane that crashes into a nuclear power plant after the pilot has a heart attack. Oh, God. So how did you get this idea?
When I was doing research for my first book, I talked to pilots and I asked them questions all the time. And the question that I always asked was, what's your biggest fear? As a pilot, emotionally, what's your biggest fear? And one day, a pilot looked at me and he looked me dead in the eye and he said, my biggest fear is a commercial airliner crashing into a nuclear power plant. Ooh. And I thought he was kidding because, I mean, come on. As I told him, I said, you know, they've proved that the facilities are fortified. This is something, we live in a post 9/11 world. Like, this is not a rational fear. And he's listening to me explain this. And when I finish, he looks at me and says, and that's exactly what they want you to think.
Oh my gosh.
Exactly. And so when I went to write my third book, I went back to that idea and I started researching to see, like, is there any validity to this fear? And I have to tell you, I was terrified by the research. Okay. The premise of this book is completely plausible and it's terrifying.
Okay, great. My biggest fear was that my luggage was going to get lost for a long time. Now I'm thinking about power plants. Okay. What was the biggest real life scare you had while working as a flight attendant?
You know, you'd mentioned the passengers. I write action thrillers, not horrors. So, you know, I will leave that genre to somebody else, because I tell you what, every day it was some new drama, some new chaos happening on the plane with a passenger. But you know, my brain is just designed to think in sort of big blockbuster action terms. So really every day I would just sit and look out at the passengers and daydream up worst case scenarios and think what would happen.
Speaking of blockbusters, you only have about 30 seconds left, but your books are going to become movies soon. We hear there's a bidding war between people like Nicole Kidman and Steven Spielberg. Mazel tov for the rights. How do you feel about that?
It blows my mind. It's absolutely surreal. I can't believe, you know, that my first two books, Falling and Drowning, are going to be made into movies with Universal Pictures and with Warner Brothers. My second book, Drowning, Academy Award nominee Paul Greengrass is directing.
Wow.
Steve Kloves, the Harry Potter screenwriter, is adapting the book. I'm living my dream come true, and today's publication day of my third book, and I can't believe this is my life.
Happy Pub Day! Happy Pub Day!
TJ, congratulations. That is incredible. DBL Nation, pick up TJ's newest thriller, Worst Case Scenario, available now. Thank you again. We'll be right back. Thank you.
Great Don't pick it up if you're going to the airport.
Yeah.
Yeah. Welcome back. We've got some great products from our friends at Morning Save. Check them out.
Steph, what do you have for us today? Let's shop.
First up today, we've got the Purion Pro LED Teeth Whitening Kit with an LED light. Ooh. You can ditch those old school strips and use this new way to whiten your teeth. We have seen this previously priced as high as $69.
Oh, no.
We've got it for just $15. That is saving 78%.
Oh my God, $15?
I know.
Okay, that stuff is really good.
Up next, we've also got the Lifestyle Advanced Boom Tube Wireless LED Light Speaker. This speaker is perfect for playing music. It also has LED dancing lights that will pulse in time with the music.
Yeah!
And this has been priced up to $90.
Ooh.
However, we've got it for just $19.99. That's saving 78%.
This brings your patio or your room upscale to a new level.
Up next, this is for you, Tori. I am telling you now.
Oh.
It is the 2-pack South Street Loft glass lanterns with remote.
I'm obsessed.
So this deal includes 2 lanterns, and they come with candles and remote. And also, you can fill the lantern with your own style, like a bit of greenery, maybe some seashells.
So cute.
We've seen this price as high as $32 each for one.
Yeah, I can see that.
We have got a 2-pack, Tori, for $24.
Yes.
That's saving 63%.
I'm promising you, you will not regret buying that.
Our last product today is the Shark Wand Vac System Ultra Lightweight, Powerful, Cordless 3-in-1 Stick Vacuum.
Ooh.
Now this is just £2.
Whoa.
You can clean your home with one of the most trusted names in household appliances. So normally this is priced up to $270.
Yeah.
We've got this for $99.99. That's saving 63%.
Head on over to morningsave.com to snag all these amazing deals at the lowest prices. Or you see that QR code on your screen, you can scan it to take you directly to these products on Morning Save's website. Thank you so much, Steph.
All right, before we go, we want to remember actress Jenna Rollins. She passed away yesterday at the age of 94 at her home in California. She was diagnosed with Alzheimer's disease 5 years ago. Jenna began her career in the 1950s and has more than 100 film and TV credits to her name. That's astonishing.
Yeah.
She was nominated for 2 Oscars for movies that were directed by her late husband, John Cassavetes, and won 3 Emmy Awards. She and John were one of the first Hollywood power couples, but everyone remembers her as the older version of Rachel McAdams' character in The Notebook, who was also dealing with Alzheimer's.
It mirrors the movie so much that it's almost hard to take. Her son, I believe, directed The Notebook.
Wow.
So she's been involved with them, and it's
Nick
a family.
Cassavetes?
Nick Cassavetes. Yeah. And so her forgetting in that Notebook, and then now her really forgetting her beautiful career is a shame, but it's relatable to many of us.
But she got to live it. Like I said,
did.
95. And what a career, what a life.
What a
well
career.
done,
All
my
right,
dear.
guys, have a good one. We'll see you tomorrow.